Oh, welcome back to part 2. This is pretty crazy because I've got nowhere to put this bike at the minute, so I'm working on it in the back of the car. So I've just took the airbox out, as you can see. I might as well, it's Sunday today and it's a bank holiday weekend, so I can't get any parts, so I might as well just start taking bits off and I'll get them painted up and cleaned up. So I'll have a chill out day just doing little jobs while I wait for my parts. I've stripped the airbox down into each component, bagged it, tied it up. What I'll do, I'll blow it all off with the airline, get all the crap out of it, and as I do it, I'll put each part back onto it, do each bag separately. That way I shouldn't lose anything and it should all go back together as it should, but look a lot nicer. How much trouble I can get in for this, using the wife's washing line. Why she doesn't know. That's some of the bits painted. Here's Fuddleston. You want Fuddleston? And just over there, I don't know if you can see, just in the field there. Little rabbit come to watch. Ooh. And another one. There. All come to watch me work. There's Fuddleston. Fuds. There you go. Well, I eventually broke the ring in the end, and looks like it's a new set of rings coming up. So I'll get some of them ordered. Meanwhile, while I'm waiting for parts, I've took the throttle assembly off because that was seized solid. I just managed to crack off the screws, and I'm going to strip this down and see if it's possible to free the cable off at all. So I'll bring you back when I've had a play. So I've got it apart, and as you can see in there, maybe, it is absolutely full of crap. So we'll clean all this up and see if we can get some lube down the cable. Right, progress so far is the throttle body that was on there. It's just knackered. It's seen its best. So I had another one, which is probably a Chinese one, but the cable and that won't fit. So what I've done, I've nicked the throttle body, try and keep the bike as original as possible by using the original throttle, and got the cable free, and I'm just going to put it all back together now, and I'll show you once I put it back together. That's back together, and now you can see it's returning. And if it picks it up on the camera how quick that's going back. Anyway, there you go. That's working. Right, so that's one job less. What I might do, because the outer shroud on this cable is knackered, might clean off what's on there that's no good, and just whip black tape around it just to save it for a bit longer. Right, whipped all the black tape round it, and I'm happy with that. That'll see us by until we need to buy a new one, which parts are pretty hard to come by, so I'm trying to save what I can, cut down on the expense. Right, what I've achieved today: new bolts, well, nuts on there, done the throttle, and the chain that was on it is soaking in oil now. I've wire brushed it completely, lubed it, and now I'm just going to soak it in oil. In the old days, that's what you used to do. You'd boil the oil, get it boiling hot, and leave it soaking in there. That's when you couldn't just order a chain, you had to go and order it and then probably wait a week or more in the old shops before it turned up. Anyway, it's Bank Holiday Monday and I'm in a mess here, as you can see. So I'm just going to knock it on the head and go home, spend some time with Julie. What can I say? That wasn't the easiest job in the world. Taking the back wheel out in the car. Got the blood to show it. Well, these back brakes are C-solid, so that'll give me a chance while I'm waiting for the piston rings to come. Start doing some of these little jobs. Ordered the piston rings from David Silver's. They've got to ship them from America, so it's going to be over a week before I'm going to get them. So I might as well just carry on playing around with this. Next job, get that front wheel out. Finally got the front wheel out, and I can't get the brake part yet. Can't get the speedo undone and the cable, but the front wheel's out, that's the main thing. I can actually fit it in the car a bit better. So I'll get it put back in the car now. Give me something to work on while I'm waiting for the parts, like I said. Right, that looks a bit better. Still gives me a bit more room in the back of the car, just in case I see something I fancy. Well, it's happened again. Lucky I tidied up last night, took them wheels out, because he's only gone and bought a bike today, and it's in the back. You want to show him what you've bought? Moto thing. Can't go anywhere. Has to buy something. There it is, his new machine. He's going to try it. Just messed with it for an hour. And hopefully it'll go now. Spent a whole 40 quid at the importers for it. There you go, started. He'll have hours of fun with this. At least he's learning things now. Oh, and he stacked it. Well, here's the aftermath of his performance. There you go. Nice bit of gravel rash and ripped trousers to bits. Show us your knee again. There you go, first taste of gravel rash. Got loads and loads of bikes. Tom has got one just out there that needs work doing to it, and he's decided he wants to play with gravel rash knee bike. Wants to strip that down instead of getting on with the rest of the jobs. Right, after yesterday's performance, decided to set up paint these wheels. So I've done the front one this morning, and that's turned out nice, a lot nicer than what it was. So it was like this. This is the back wheel to do next, to get all this cleaned up. I think you can tell the difference. I've got the tyres, 2 new tyres for it. Next job is this. As you can see, that C's solid. That won't move. Very easy. No, it don't even move. That's as much strength as I can put on it. I've got 2 new tubes. I've got the rubbers for inside the wheels. Gasket set has come. All I'm waiting for to start rebuilding this is the rings, but who knows, they'll come when they come. So I'll crack on with getting this back wheel done. Tomorrow I'll get the tyre fitted on that and the new tube in it, and hopefully the day after that should be dry enough and done enough to be fitted again. Right, as you can see, this is C solid. So what I'm going to do is get the brakes off. Oh, easier said than done. That's seized on there as well. Right, let me bring you back in a sec. Right, I've got this one off. This one is seized on down here. So, it's got it. There we go. That's that one off. But this is seized up as well. So what I'm going to do is get the old stuff out and start working that in. Get a bit of a clean in here with that. Get this, get the big boy on it, and start working it. Keep working it, keep lubing it. And eventually, it doesn't take long to get it free. So I'll leave that to keep soaking in, working it, and whatever corrosion's in there will gradually work free. There you go. There you go now. Simple as that. Right, we'll push on with something else. So 5 minutes later, and as you can see, working as it should. There we go. That's good enough now. They're returning as they should. Job done. On to the next. Cleaned up the back wheel yesterday and repainted all the spokes just to make it look a bit better than what it was. The ball ache is masking everything up. That's the thing that takes the time, so you don't get the silver on, the chrome and all the rest. Anyway, time to demask it then. Right, here's a little tip for you when you're cleaning up wheels. As you can see, all the rust and stuff on them. Well, this side I've started to clean up. This side I've got to do, so I don't drop the wheel. Here's what I do. Let me move this wheel. Aluminium foil, because it's softer than the chrome. Some Solvo. Put it on the wheel, and then use the balls to scrub it in, and that will fetch out all the rust and leave you with the chrome. I'll show you in a second. Okay, I'll put my Solvo on, get my ball, and start scrubbing it. I'm trying to do this one-handed and film, it's not very successful, so let me just do a bit and I'll show you the same spot. Right, okay, that was the same spot as what we had before. Now there's nothing you can do about the tiny little pits, obviously where the chrome has lifted a little bit, like the pinholes, but once you've done it all, shone it all up, just protect it with a bit of wax or something, because if the air can't get at it and moisture, then it's not going to get any worse. So that's my little tip for today. As you can see, working the outer edges as well, and guess who's just turned up? That'll be Bill. He's got an engine he wants me to fix. We'll see if I can get going for him. When he gets over here, I'll show you what he's bought me to try and get going. Here comes G.I. Joe. Let's see what he's bought me. Well, he just jumped out of an aeroplane or what?
Pardon?
You just jumped out of an aeroplane or what? In your combat gear?
I'm a metal detectorist.
So what you got there, Bill?
This is a 1953 Cycle Master 32cc.
Right, it don't work.
I've had it firing, but I think I put too much oil in the petrol. But I want you to check it.
You mean you want me?
A legend.
You want me to get it going for you?
Yes, because you're a legend.
Right.
And I'm very happy that I'm happy.
I'm a leg end. I don't know anything else.
No, you're
right.
a legend, mate. A legend.
Right. Get it in there. Get it in the vice. Let's see what we can do with it.
I'll set it up for you. I bought a bag of goodies.
All right.
Also, I bought an instruction manual because it's before your time.
Well, that's no good because both of us can't read.
Well, that's true.
Is there any good pictures? Any good pictures in it?
Yeah, they've got idiots' pictures.
Oh, and a towel. I ain't gonna sweat, Bill. I'm gonna sweat doing it. You're distracting me from my nice shiny wheel.
Yeah, but look at that nice shiny wheel.
Right, that's something to behold, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful. That was when English engineering was at its best, before your Jap shit.
Right then. Right, let's see if I can get it going for him.
You'll get it going.
Right, I'll bring you back when I start playing with it. Well, unfortunately Bill had to shoot off and take his wheel and engine with him. I had a quick look at it, I couldn't get it going. I think there was something up with a compression on it. So I pushed on myself, got the tyre on. Now I'm going to clean this sprocket up, get the rust off of that, clean all that up. It should look so much nicer, but the wheel's looking good at the minute. I'll bring you back once I've finished doing this. So that's cleaned up now, and I think that is a marked improvement to what we started with yesterday. Bit of time, bit of elbow grease, and a bit of perseverance, and it's looking lots better. And the tyres on, so I'm going to find something else to play with next. Well, I found the next bits. These want cleaning up, so I'll get on with that. I'll show you when I've cleaned them up. Right, bit of wire brushing and you end up with that, which I think you'll admit looks a damn sight better than what it did before. Like I say, I'm going to find some more bits to play with. Right, I was looking for another job and I found it. Right, because I'm still on the wheels. Here, this is seized in for the speedo. That's solid. So I'm going to have to take the cable out with it. This lot here, as you can see, is all full of corrosion and stuff. So I'll work on that, get that out, then I should be able to take the whole of the brake assembly and get it on the bench and see if we can sort this problem out here. Okay, managed to get that out. This is the problem. That is seized in there. So first thing I'm going to do is hit it with a bit of the usual. The brake cable itself is solid. It's really stiff. Just get it to move. So I'm going to lube that up as well. Somewhere I have a tool that you connect onto it. Just trying to look around for it, and you can blow oil down it, and hopefully that will free that up. But I can't see it at the minute. It's here somewhere. Anyway, I'll have a go at that. I'll have a go at getting this out as well. Well, I seriously think I have a problem. Stripping this bike down in this car. I mean, I had the front off the speedo and the brake off it earlier. But I'm at home, I'm bored, so I thought I'd take the shocks out. I must be mad. I could be sitting at home watching the world go by, ducks floating by. No, I've got to come up here and carry on with it. Must be raving mad. Right, that'll keep me quiet for a little while. I've got both rear shocks off. Hopefully keep me quiet for a bit longer. Another thing, this isn't the original mudguard for it. I have actually found one in America, a second-hand one, ordered it, so that'll be coming within 2 to 3 weeks, I suppose, a month. So it's all moving, but it's doing me head in the back of the car. I'd like to get it out and sort of pressure wash it, get rid of all this dusty stuff that's the whole bike was covered in. So maybe tomorrow, if Tommy's about, we'll drag it out and jet wash it. God knows how I'm going to put it back together. I'm just taking bits off, doing them. I've got to remember where everything goes, but we'll get there. Right guys, I found my tool. I've cleaned all this up, as you can see. Now the cable. Runs free. This is a little tool I'm on about. You connect it on, little hole here in it. You can actually shoot WD-40, G85, whatever you want down it, and it pumps the cable full of it. Hopefully frees it up. I managed to get the speedo out of it. Speedo drive there. The only thing is, it's broke the little peg inside and I got it out. Now my big problem is getting this out. The little screw there you take out, but this is seized in solid, so I'll have to work on that, see if I can get that going. And I suppose same as on the other bike, I have to clean all that out, see if we can get it all freed up. I'll bring you back once I've had a play with it. Right, I've managed to get that out. It's steaming hot, as you can see. And yeah, I had to heat it right up. You can see it's hot. Hopefully I'll get it apart now. I'll get this piece apart and sort it out. Right, I managed to separate the two pieces. Now, problem is that lug there is broke off, which drives the speedo cable, which is in here, seized in there. So my plan is to get that back out from there, cut a new slot where that was, put the bit from there into there and epoxy it in there. There's no real tension as such that goes onto it, and then that should get my speedo drive and my speedo working again. Right, as you can see, I've cut a slot into it. I've stuck the other piece in. Now hopefully I can get some epoxy around that and it'll do the trick. Right then, let's find some epoxy to get it done. Okay, that's epoxied up now. I'll leave that to go off. Hopefully that will hold it in enough. Right, while I'm waiting for that, back to the grindstone. Back to silver balls and silver water sole. See if we can clean these shocks up a little bit. So I thought I'd just show you the difference. Right, that's just a minute or so of using Solvo and the aluminium foil. From that to that, I've just done the half of it, so you can see the difference. So it's worth doing and it don't take long. There's the shocks, one sprayed, cleaned, the other one sprayed as well. Just got to demask it. I'll leave that till tomorrow, but I think that's a well of an improvement to what we started with. Yeah, definitely looks loads better. I don't know if you can see it too well in the light here, but yeah, they're really shiny, come up really nice. I saved a few quid. Right, front hub is all put back together. I don't know if you can see inside there, but it's all done, working. So that's a cracking job. At least the speedo will work now. Right, it's Sunday, it's a beautiful day. I'm going out for a bit. This is the nearest the bike's coming out the back of the car. I'm going to give it a jet wash. Got bored at home. I know it's Sunday, but I just get bored. Just want to have a mess still. As you can see, it's pretty grimy. Let's get a jet wash on it. So, pressure washed it all off, and while I'd got it out, I thought I'll take the front mudguard off. While I took the front mudguard off, I thought might as well take the forks out. So that's what I did. So that'll give me something to play around with. There's the mudguard. That can get to bills. I don't know if the red is the original colour or what. We'll have to find out. Anyway, I'm bored now. Going home again. I'm still waiting for spares. So, me and old Happy Chappy here, who loves doing collets, don't you, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, grumpy. Yeah. Anyway, we've put some clutch and brake cleaner in here, and it seems to be sealed. You can see. Oh, shit. Yeah, well, welcome to my life. Yeah, that seems to be sealed, cutting them valves in. So, we're just waiting for the rings really. Stop and put it back together. But yeah, I'm pleased that's sealed up. I didn't think it would. Right, I decided to take the carb apart that come on the 100, and there's corrosion in here. If you can see that. Took the float bowl off and it's like that. Floats, the jets look blocked with gunge. So we'll have a quick strip down and have a play with that for a bit. Well, sat around for an hour or so cleaning it up. Looks a lot better than what it did. Cleaned all the jets. They was blocked. The little bits of staining on the float bowls, not really worried about. Petrol will eventually wash that clean. I don't have a thing called an ultrasonic cleaner. I'll just do it the old way with that, and you can see how fine that is. Generally clean them out with that little box of tricks with all the different ends in there, and that does the trick for me when they're blocked up. Right, let's get it all back together, ready for going back on the bike. Right, it's first chance of actually getting this bike in the garage. Well, what's left of it. Basically the frame, bits and bobs on it. So I think at least I can have a good look round it, see what state it's in. These switches are seized, these don't work, so I'm going to have this part, see if we can get them working. The wiring where it's all broke, the outer shrouds, I'm going to re-whip all that. That'll tidy it up a bit. Brush guard, that could all do with being painted. These have all got corrosion on them. I do cleaning all that up. I've got one day, which is today, to get as much done as I can, because tomorrow's Wednesday and Wednesday's my day out. Thursday, I think the weather's changing for thunderstorms and rain, so things are going to have to go on hold when that happens. So I'm just going to push on and get on with this as much as I can today. Yeah, there's a lot wants rubbing down and painting. I'd like to get some of the parts back together on it, ready for when the engine's done, and see if the engine will run. Anyway, no good prattling on now. Let's just get on with the job. You think I'd have noticed, wouldn't you? There's no wiring coming out of it. It's been cut. So, bit of wiring to do there. If I need indicators and horn and all the rest. But even in here, it's all full of that same stuff. Well, let's get it off. I think I'm gonna whip this cable as well with some tape.
Chum's not interested.
Well, Very interesting. That's what I've got on the bottom half of the switch. Well, that's going to be a headache. There ain't much to go with there. Anyway, we'll push on. Keep smiling. Well, started doing the wiring loom, and up here, wherever the bike is covered in, is even inside the wiring loom. Look at this. Crazy. Anyway, I'm going to bare all this piece back and re-whip it. I don't understand where all this stuff's come from. Anyway, it's a mystery. Right, having a bit of a mad one. Shocks are on, back wheels in, handlebars cleaned up, front wheel in, speedo on. Speedo works now. Got to connect the front brake up. What else? Loads. I'm just going for it. Get as much done as I can today. Get as much put back as I possibly can. Well, this morning I decided to take the switches off the bike. They were solid. Wiring's cut. I've took that one apart. I've lubed it all up with the old trusty, you know what. This one, you can see, is the same. It's full of crap. Whereas on the hoarder, I found a bag of bits, and I'm hoping I can use some of this to get these working. It'll probably take hours and hours to do it, but it'll save buying it. Anyway, I've managed to free this one off. I don't really want to do it one-handed because if that jumps out, that white piece, it's a nightmare to get back in. There's little springs and ball bearings behind there. It's had me before like that when I've stripped one down. So I don't really want to do it. There you go. This side's still tight, but it did go over. So anyway, I'll push on with this and see what I can do with it. Right, here's my plan. Rewire that and get that working and get this lot cleaned up. I'll keep me busy for a while because the rest of the bike's looking pretty good at the minute. Looking pretty clean. I can touch in as I go round the bits, the frame that wants doing. Yeah, it's looking really good. It's coming on. Just gotta hope that engine works. If I've done all this and the engine don't work, plan B. Put a 754 engine in it. Nah, not really. Anyway, I'm going to crack on again. Well, before I paint all that, I really think things are getting out of order. I'm going to have a proper clean up, especially if I want to build the engine. Oh dear. Right, I've replaced this one. As you can see, it was cut off. It's full of that stuff again. So I replaced it with this one, which now works. I've got to put the horn into this in here, which I've had to make a wire up. Lucky enough, in my box of junk, I found one with an end on it. Put some heat shrink round that. The indicator one that was cut off, I've replaced that one with one I'd got with spares stuff. That now works. Like I say, if you're going to mess with these, be really careful, because the little springs and stuff inside and the ball bearings. Right, I'm going to crack on, get this heat shrinked on, because I've soldered that up. So we'll crack on with that now. Well, that's all put back together. That works. That works. Horn button works. That one goes up and down now. I've heat shrank the wiring for now. The only problem I've come across is that where the handlebars go. For some strange reason, I don't understand it. This is the one that come off the bike. So where does the wiring go? No idea. So the only thing I can see I'm going to have to do is probably Dremel a little piece out of there, so the wiring will drop lower than the actual handlebars. But I'll wait and see when I get the bike out again. But just really strange, nowhere for the wiring to come out on it. Anyway, what do you think? I think the Dremel's coming out. Oh well. Right guys, sorry about the last bit of video being the wrong way around, but I think Tom was holding the phone the wrong way. Anyway, foot pegs are back on, brush guards back on. I've just got to paint the brake. What I think I'm going to do this morning is try and get the airbox back in. Apparently the rings are definitely on the way. They're supposed to come in yesterday, and then they'd got to ship them from David Silver's to me. So it could be another 3 days, I suppose, 4 days. Anyway, I'll crack on with this. Okay, airbox is in place now. As usual, trying to get it in the frame, you scuff it up a little bit, but I'll touch all that in. I'm going to spend a little bit of time and clean the bolts up on it. That one I've done, and clean the earth. So I've got these two I want to clean up and sort them out. So we'll get that done next. Well, I decided to take the headlight out. Like everything else, that is seized up. But just by looking in here, you can see all that dust is in here as well. So that's once a good clean out. It'll probably take me a good while to get that little bleeder out at the bottom. So I'll bring you back when I've got in there a bit closer to where I want to go.